And I was like, well, I go there every day. Like, even if I don't go to work out, I'll just go and like steam or jacuzzi,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like $10 a day, less than $10 a day if you go every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
It makes it worth it.
how much are you spending on food and coffee and stuff daily? That's probably more than $10.
Yeah. Plus, the other thing is the people that you'll end up meeting there, which I think is a big part of it.
I never went to the gym long enough before I went to like last time I went to the gym was probably like in college when I had a gym for free.
Yeah.
And then basically all throughout my 20s didn't go at all. And then now that I have this place, it's like close and convenient. And then yeah, I've met a bunch of people and the only people that go to that gym are I wouldn't say um like high earners or something like that, but kinda
Yeah.
like you can't be a complete brokey and go there.
I think the benefit of a more expensive gym is you're not getting people that go to like Planet Fitness. And no, I'm not knocking on that, but if you're paying $10 a month for a gym membership, you're either a student or you're broke, let's be honest. Or it's just
Yeah.
like right next to your house for some reason. But if you're going to pay like 150 or $200 a month, even $100 a month for a decent gym membership, you're probably just going to get connected with better people.
Yeah. Yeah. And now I'm fully convinced like I'm never going back. Not that I was ever at somewhere before, but like I'm never not gonna have a nice gym membership. Like there's
Yeah.
no way. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the LTV on me for lifetime is probably gonna be a life like for life
Yeah.
as long as I live close to it.
Yeah. For sure. It's just something you bake into your expense. You're like, yeah, I got rent or mortgage, gym
Yeah.
membership, car. Cool. Great.
Yeah. I think this is what people say when you're like you start leveling up your like your life and your expenses and things and it's like your quality of life. What's the term? There's like some term, but it's like the more that you do, the more that you spend.
What do you mean? Like the better your life is?
Just like yeah, quality of life expenses, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally get that. I like my perception on expenses changed when the business started making a lot of money because I could just put things through the business. Like
Hmm.
very little things like travel. I used to look at a $1,500 plane ticket and be like, oh, if I'm fuck, like if I'm making 60 grand a year, am I gonna spend 1,500 on a plane ticket? And then I want a new computer and that's 2,500. But when you're making money through the company, like I do not care. I get a new computer every year, new phone every year. I like now a flight is 5 grand, not 1,500 because I'm not going to sit at the back. It's like even all these little things when the business starts making money, you just it changes your perception on money.
Yeah. 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 It's crazy to think like back when in college or something, I was living off of like nothing, you know?
Dude, my rent was $350 in
Oh
college.
my God.
Canadian.
Oh
Nothing. It was
my
like
gosh.
300 US, maybe less. So I was so frugal. And I still am actually personally I'm frugal, but through the business, I just don't care as much as of like 5,000 here, 10,000 there, because when the income is coming in, you think about it in number of days versus profit margin.
I remember when, I mean, this was probably like I mean, many years ago. And you told me about how you were going to buy a brand new MacBook Pro for one of your employees because
Yeah.
you calculated the time that it would take for her computer to load different like different
Yep.
websites and compounded over the year was like weeks of lost productivity. Whereas you could buy her a $2,000 laptop and then all of a sudden everything's like you just saved. And that delta of the lost productivity versus 2000, like I don't know, it was like $12,000 in your favor or something like that.
Yeah, dude, that's actually that's such an interesting point because you're right. The computer that we were going to get her was like 50% faster. So then you factor in, you're not just going to work faster, but things will load quicker. So like, okay, let's say worst case, it's 25% faster. right? Well, she's making 60K base plus bonuses, and the bonus incentive was pretty strong. So you're paying her between five to $8,000 a month. Like, so even if you only save 25%, that's what, $15,000 worst at the very lowest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, yeah, the computer is 2 grand or three. I don't even know what it was, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
2 grand. Okay, great. I can easily make that expense.
Yeah.
Yeah, your perception changes as the revenue starts to flow in. So the way I thought about it, I know this is probably not the topic of today's call, but it's interesting. Is that if we're doing 50K a month and our margin's 50%, we're making $840 a day profit.
Mhm.
So if I want a new computer, it's like 2 or 3 days of profit, and I get to write off the expense in the business. It's
Yeah.
different if you're paying for it yourself because I'm factoring in what are my taxes, but it's not like that through the business. It's total expense.
Yeah.
So that's how I think about investing into growth or hiring people or paying for software or tools. Like it's all just, yeah, how many days is it going to take me?
Do you think that really starts to show itself once you are able to like meet your own baseline of making money from the company?
You mean like when you're able to cover your own life kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Changes a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. It changes a lot for sure. Because when you're thinking about paying off like student loan debts, or if you're thinking about making rent, and if you don't have enough cash to pay for it for 12 months, your decision making in a business is going to be different
Mm-hmm.
because you
Yep.
can't be long term. You have to get the money in.
Been there.
But it's a good, it is a good position to be in. Like the hungriest I've ever been is when I had no money and I took a cash advance on my credit card to pay rent. Like that is the hungriest moment of like, well, I'm fucked anyway, so might as well just take that additional step. Like if it doesn't work this month, either I'm moving home with my parents or
Yeah.
I'm going to be 10 grand in debt and I'm still moving home. So I'm like, I'm in the same position anyway. So it's not the worst thing to be hungry as well.
I think that's probably one of the most undercover common themes of diligent web entrepreneurs is like, have you maxed out a credit card before to keep a business going?
I hope that's not the prerequisite, but it's true. It's common. Yeah.
But it's almost like the naivete or the lack of awareness that like what you're doing is insane and the confidence that you have in whatever it is that you're selling or doing at the time and in I guess yourself overpowers that logic.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to have an unshakable belief in yourself.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm relearning now as I'm taking a step into a different level of business. So, like, I'm building a SaaS now. It's actually a consumer mobile app that I'll show you in a second. Um, and it's a different level, and I think it's a higher level of difficulty than running an agency, because the sales process is different and the price point is different. But I'm re-reminded what it's like to be totally new and have your examples be other people that have failed at doing it and still wanting to do it anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was starting the agency, I was scared of failure and I didn't know what I was doing. But it's not the most difficult business to succeed at. It's like it's business level one, basically. It's selling a service. I think it's one of the easier businesses that you can get into. I'm not saying there's no work, obviously there is, but like the path forward is clear. You get a client, you service the client, you retain them, you upsell them on other services, you
Yeah.
hire a fulfillment staff. Like it's pretty straightforward. But now getting into level two of building software, I'm going through that same learning curve again and trying to remind myself what I learned 6 years ago, which is that it's going to be really hard and you're going to have to fail a lot until it finally succeeds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think now the big thing with software in general is just distribution.
Yeah.
How do you get it in front of people for
Yeah. That's what you
without
were.
breaking the bank?
Yeah. I can't remember if this was on an office hour call or if it was just you and I talking, but I don't think the uniqueness of the product is the thing anymore, right? It's your ability to distribute. It's your ability to get customers. That's the thing.
Exactly. So perfect segue into something that I've been waiting to talk about. So I found this ad from this app called Resame.app. And so I'll play the ad real quick.
Okay.
All right, here, let me make sure that the sound's on.
Do you have a bunch of recipes saved in an Instagram collection that you forget about? I have a hack for you. With Reseme, you can import recipes from any social media platform or any website with just one tap. The ingredients and instructions import directly to your phone. No more messy bookmarks, recipe printouts, or notes app. My favorite part is I can create a shopping list in seconds. This saves me so much time when I meal prep. So if you want to be more organized with your meals, get this app.
Okay, so that was the
Great
ad.
ad. Yeah, great ad. I can already interpret what the functionality is. But yeah, keep going.
So fantastic ad. And I was like, that's not an ad. That was a UGC video that they turned in, like, because it doesn't feel like that right away. So, and I'm like,
Yeah.
42,000 fucking likes. Holy shit. So I found it. It's got over 2 million views organically. And
Yep.
you go through the comments, and people are like, this is amazing. I've got to try this. Brilliant idea. Great app idea. Super cool. And this is all within 9 hours, 1 week, 6 days. Like 2 days ago, 19 hours. This is hitting like crazy right now.
Yeah.
And some of the things that I like pulled out was like, this is probably one of the best templates to create a UGC style ad for any company or app. And like the few things that I picked out is in the first 5 seconds, they have like 10 scene changes.
Do
Can
you
we
have a
play the
bunch of
beginning again?
recipes saved in an Instagram
One,
collection that you
two,
forget about? I
three,
have a hack for
four,
you. With
five,
Reseme, you can
six,
import
seven,
recipes from any
eight,
social media
nine,
platform
10,
or any website.
10 within the first 8 seconds.
Holy shit.
They
Think,
switched
let that sink in, dude. Like a scene change lasts zero point 0.8
point.
seconds.
Yeah, yeah, less than a second. But when you're watching it, it's like
It doesn't feel like it. It actually feels kind of calming.
it doesn't feel like it
Do you
exactly.
have a bunch of recipes saved in an Instagram collection that you forget about? I have a hack for you. With
Five,
Reseme, you can
six,
import
seven,
recipes from
eight,
any social media
9.
platform or any website with just one tap. The ingredients and instructions import directly.
So that was the first thing I noticed. The next thing I noticed is they have this disgusting looking long fingernail.
Platform or any website with just one tap. The ingredients.
Like, that's not, maybe that's just me. But I saw some other
Bit of a
comments.
pattern interrupt.
Well, but I also saw comments being like, "Oh, you need a manicure," like, "Oh, you need to cut your nails," and I'm like, they probably did that on purpose."
And
Like,
They're just
instructions
comment
import.
farming. That's so
yeah.
good.
So it like so many things, and then so I took it and I was like, okay, make this into a template. So I had GPT take this transcription, and then it matched it um to like a template here.
Mhm.
Do so hook, solution, the benefits, personal experience, endorsement, call to action. And so this little template right here is something that I'm gonna use myself to like try to make UGC style ads for Stammer or any, other things.
That's so good. That you
Um,
should post that in the community.
definitely. But so I thought it was really really cool. I was like, these guys are. It's a cool thing. They used UGC to create ads. They've got, I mean, a good amount of action on their profile, and all their videos are basically just copies of the same style of video.
Yeah.
But for whatever
Even
reason, that one just hit. Like you can see all their other content is kind of, meh.
this is such a good example though. They're trying a bunch of different formats.
Mm-hmm.
and then they find a format that works and they're just going to rinse and repeat it. But
Yep.
look at this consistency here, and it's all UGC. This
All
is,
UGC. Yeah.
man, this is such a good example. And here's a, like, on a technical back end thing of why do you want to post UGC and then use UGC as your video? It's because if you post it first, you can see if it gets views organically. And if it does, it's going to work better as an ad. But
Exactly.
also now, if you post it organically, right, it does really well.
Mm-hmm.
Once all the views have once you like reach the apex and the views are slowing down, right, you can edit the caption to be what you would want the caption to be for an ad. So you keep the views on the video, and then go into Business Manager and select post and choose that video from your Instagram account. So you're using the exact same video. And now when the ad is shown to users, it's going to show thousands of likes, hundreds of comments, hundreds of shares. So all of that social proof that you built up from publishing the video initially is going to stick on the ad. So you know the video works, you keep the social proof, and it lives on your page. So now you're spending money and it's going to keep reaching more people.
And key point, they didn't use copyrighted music in that video.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah. Really good point. Really good point.
Which is huge. Yeah. That's, I mean,
did they use any music? Can't remember.
Have a bunch of recipes saved in an
No.
Instagram collection that you forget about. I have a hack for you.
That's something to note too.
Yeah. Because I remember that was one of the reasons why I couldn't run most of my videos.
Yeah. I know, because we did that on your account. We did that for Stammer for a bit.
Yep.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah. So tell me about the app.
It's
Is this the baby app?
Yeah. It's a total work in progress right now. But it's essentially going to be a wrapper of ChatGPT, but it's branded towards parents. So I know that before I had my first kid, I had a million questions, like even little things of like how to change a baby's diaper, or like how often do I bathe my kid, or when does that little belly button thing come off? Like all of these tiny little questions that you don't have the answers to.
When does that belly button thing come off?
You know what I mean, though, right? It's like, it sounds obvious if you've gone through it, but if you haven't, like, I don't know the answer. You probably don't know the answer.
I didn't even know there was a thing that came off. What's coming off?
Okay, there you go. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So if you're going through it and you're a first-time parent, you have a million questions, and what do? You Google it, and you look through dozens of pages. You read a million articles, and you get opinions in every single direction. So then you can go to ChatGPT. But ChatGPT, unless you give it a ton of context, like unless you have built a language model similar to what you do for Stammer, where people can input a database of information and then it will give you responses based on that database, right? Mm-hmm. Unless you are preemptively doing that, then the response is going to be kind of generic.
Yeah.
And so you can use ChatGPT, and it actually is great. I would recommend it, but it can be improved if you have a database that it can reference information from. And then what better than a database that's specific about your child or your pregnancy journey? So if you can input your date of conception or your due date, or you can input your child's birth date, then the advice and the responses that it will give back will be specific for that kid. And the memory will get updated over time. So if, for instance, if I ask ChatGPT, give me cookie recipes for Noah, it's going to say, who's Noah? And then it will just give a generic cookie recipe, right? But if it knows that Noah is my 13-month-old kid that has a peanut allergy, then it's going to give me ingredients that will be relevant for my kid. So it's all about the context, I think, of ChatGPT. So that's what I'm trying to do, and package it into a consumer app. And like you said, I think branding and distribution is going to be the most important thing. So we have a pretty strong content strategy, I think. But yeah, that's going to be it. It's basically using OpenAI's 4.0 as the memory source, and then having being able to pre-fill in information about your kids that will cater the responses for you. And then we're also working on a location interface. So it's like, what should I do with John today? It will know the age of your kid, and it will find local events, and it will find parks or indoor play areas that are suitable for a 12-year-old. So it's all just going to be customized responses catered to each individual child that you're asking about. That's really
Nice.
what we're trying to build.
All right, let's go over more of that later. We got Lucas joining here.
Cool. Yep.
But also, do you think the memory? Hey, Lucas.
Hey there, how's it going?
Hey,
Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. Glad you could join us, man. This is
hey, Lucas, nice to meet you.
yeah, this is one of my partners, Brock.
Nice to meet you too.
Lucas has been in the Stammer uh sphere for I mean for pretty much since the beginning, I want to say.
Yep.
Nice. That's awesome. How's it going at Stammer, Lucas?
Well, from the Stammer side, it's going pretty great. From my agency side, yeah, not so much. But still, yeah, it's a long run.
Yeah, it definitely is. What's the barrier that you're running into on the agency side?
For now, just getting the clients, sending emails left and right, but yeah, that's the main constraint right now.
Yeah, totally.
Have you been able to get on any calls with people?
No, not at all. Just yeah, the emails have been no response at all from any of it, from no DMs, from nothing now. So it's a little bit uh off-putting, but now still, it's about the numbers, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely about volume. I mean, cold email can be a tough one for getting clients, especially these days. Uh, I think that brands are becoming more and more receptive to cold email outreach, and they're really attuned to, determining if it's a cold email or not. And I think the volume that they're getting is increasing. So it is definitely about volume. Like I was sending over 1,000 cold emails a day at one point and still getting customers from it. But honestly, having some kind of organic outreach is probably going to be a more effective way to get customers.
Yeah.
How's it going on the organic side?
I've been putting on some IG content, just AI news basically on the agency.
Nice. Getting any traction on that content? Hey, you still with us?
Did we lose you? That was one of the things that I'm starting to think about instead of being the how, like how how to build an AI chatbot in 60 seconds. Like no one really cares about that versus
Yeah.
being the here's why you need an AI chatbot to save money or make money for your business
Mm-hmm.
and instead be the advocate of the raw technology rather than my product.
That's interesting.
And I'm going to try that soon because I think that will allow me to get a lot more views because it's way more general
Yeah.
than you back with us, Lucas?
Yep. Sorry for that.
No worries.
No idea what happened.
Yeah, I was just saying like for organic content, one of the interesting things to maybe try is instead of talking about the how, like how to make an AI chatbot or how AI chatbots could help your business, talk about the why. So
Yep.
like becoming more of a general, um, like a general advocate of AI for business.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And like I don't really have a clear example of that yet, but I'm just trying to think of like anybody who's in that sphere of AI in general or how AI can be applicable to a business would like and engage with that post because that also agrees with what they're doing. It could be on another platform. It doesn't necessarily matter, but it's helping that piece of content get more engagement and get further
Yep.
pushed to more people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we were saying last time, Ross. Like the hook needs to be super general. Like the hook that you say needs to be so general that it gets people in. You can still say what you want to say, but if you start off by saying, um, if you start off by saying something super technical, like this is how you can set up a chatbot for this use case and put it on this page of your website. It's like it's very broad, but if you can do something like
Yeah.
this is how to turn 30% of your traffic into scheduled calls, then you can still go through the technicals of how you do it, but the framing is selling the result before you actually give the explanation of it.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing I heard, I haven't tried this yet, but I thought it was an interesting take, because I was making how-to videos because a lot of the stuff that I want to talk about is really information dense, which is a pretty narrow market. But I think a better way to do it is rather than saying this is how to do something, you say I did this and got this result, and this is how I did it. So it's not talking in present tense and like building it live or showing it live. It's talking in past tense.
Yeah.
So a good example, I noticed this on when I made a video about sending cold emails, and one of them was like, here's how I set up a cold email campaign, got like 300 views. But then the other one that got, I think, 12,000 views or something was I sent 10,000 cold emails, got 800 responses, and booked 10 clients. And this is how I did it. And it was like, it was going rewind. It's like, this is where I am now, present, perfect dream situation, and then rewinding and show you how I got to the situation rather than starting back here and then showing people how to get up here. It's like a small reframing of the content.
Yeah. And Lucas, for you with AI chatbot specifically, you could make one for a business that isn't your client yet, potentially, and showcase the benefits that they would get in the same way.
Yep, yep. That's what I've been trying to do for a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't actually gotten to show any of those yet. Yes, the communication has been a little, stagnant.
Mm.
But yeah, that's an approach I definitely want to take. As when I know somebody will receive the message with a built chatbot, that's when it's worth to put in the extra work and build one beforehand, right? But
Have you talked to a business owner and tried offering it for free?
I have talked to two that already had one, so that didn't work out. So I didn't really know.
Okay. That's one of the things that I'm hearing like more people that are new are
Yep.
starting to do. Like if they have no existing client base or anything, they will provide it for free up front for in exchange for like a review or a testimonial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from what I've heard, that typically leads to more work for other things. People ask because they know that you're now going to be able to do something for a good price. So while that is a good way to get your foot in the door with new clients, the downside is they might expect you or want you to do a lot of other things that aren't necessarily related to the thing that you're trying to sell them to do.
Yeah. 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 Gotcha.
And you kind of come into this point where you're like, well, I could do that for them and I could make whatever money I could get for that, but yet it's a complete distraction or completely separate from what I'm trying to do. It's up to, and I've been in this position too in the past where I'm like, oh, I need to take this client or I need to take this job to pay rent or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that puts you in a tricky position to try to figure out like, oh, do you need to focus on one or the other or try to do both? And ideally, eventually you say, no, this is what I'm doing. That's not what I do, but here's what I can offer you over here, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, bro. I'm sure you've gone through that too, Brock. What do you?
Yeah. Ultimately, people don't want another tool, right? You have to sell them the result that they want, not sell them on the thing that you are actually selling. So if you talk to a business and say like, "Hey, do you want a chatbot?" They're going to be like, "No, I don't know. I've seen that before." Or like, it's just not a very compelling pitch. If you sell them the outcome that they are looking for, then how you implement it is almost irrelevant. So I think that's the question that you want to ask when you're speaking with these businesses. It's like, what's the dream outcome for them, right? Is the dream outcome to replace customer service reps or like reduce their cost on customer service? Is the outcome to uh, is it to reduce the lag between getting a new lead and actually following up with them? Is it to make their website actually serve a purpose rather than just being the face, but having a way to collect information from it? So I think getting down to that pain point is the important thing, and then that's what you sell. So yeah, that would be my most effective way to sell it. You need to give them the outcome before you tell them how you're doing it.
Yeah, I guess I haven't been doing that at all, actually. That's a good
Okay.
point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that might be a good mental shift. Do you mind if I ask how many clients you have?
No, zero, zero.
Okay, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting started for a long time now, which doesn't sound that good, but yeah, zero for now.
But to be fair, you're also like you're doing other things, right?
I am, but that's not the excuse I want to use.
He's training to be a pilot.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So that's like, yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. I think when you get the first client, the rest are just going to snowball. Like sometimes it's I don't know about you, but when I was getting started, I built it up in my head. It's like I don't have the systems in place, I don't have the onboarding, I don't know how to retain, or like I'm gonna have to add it to my call schedule. But as soon as you get the first one, the rest are going to snowball. But if I'm if I'm being honest, like I've gotten hundreds of clients over the years. Uh, Cold email is probably not the most effective way. If we were talking 5, 10 years ago, I would say 100% go
Yep.
for it. But it's probably just not going to be the most effective way to do it. And content is great, but it is long term. So there are two other things that you could do. Uh, One of them being paid ads if you want to put some money into it. And a great way to do that is following Ross's strategy, where you make some amazing videos. You see what one is most effective and goes viral. And then the call to action is going to be comment this keyword and I'll send you this. So that's the
Yeah.
lead magnet strategy, because then you're developing yourself as an authority figure in the space. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel on content either. You just like come up with one topic. You can recreate a very similar video style multiple times until one of them hits. And then just give something that is a compelling enough lead magnet that people would want it. Ross probably has like 1,000 examples of those. But then the other way to get customers, honestly, good old fashioned cold calling. You can just scrape some Google Maps data, hammer the phones, and if you're making the call while you're smiling and standing up and walking around, it will change the energy in the conversation. And I think that with a decent call script, you'll probably be able to get customers just doing that.
No, I got you. Yeah, the thing with, I would switch to cold calling right away. The thing is, I'm based in Europe, right? And
Yeah.
I wasn't really keen on doing local clients with the language. It as much as you can overcome that challenge, and the language doesn't have to be a barrier at all, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it still works much better in English in my testing so far.
What country are you living in?
Czech Republic.
Nice. I live in Poland, so I'm with you. So
Oh,
literally
cool.
same page. I only work with Canadian and American clients, sometimes UK and Australia, but I know the Canada and US market so much better, and that's where all the money is. So yeah, same kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
cold
exactly.
calling will suck. You'll have to start at 3 o'clock, so it's 9 a.m. Eastern, but that's just how it is.
Yeah. So on that front, did you get a US number, or did you just stick with your European one?
Yeah, use open phone.
Open phone. I'll check that out.
Yeah, get a US number through open phone. $12 a month. It's nothing.
Yep.
That's what I use over here.
Yep. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, if you cold call people in a concentrated area and you scrape the data from Google Maps, if you come in with some energy and you only do appointment setting for yourself on the first call,
Yep.
I guarantee if you make 100 phone calls, you will have customers. So
Well,
the first call is not to close the deal.
yeah. That's what I have to do.
That's the differentiation. And I don't know if everybody agrees with this, but I can only speak from experience. And like I said, we've closed hundreds of customers and I've been running my agency for a long time. So I feel like this is what worked for me. You never close the deal on the first call. Same
Yep,
thing
yep.
if you're cold calling. You just call and set the appointment. You get them excited to talk to you. And then you say, look, I have to go, or I have another call, or like this was just to find a time. I'm really looking forward to telling you more about it. You just want to get them excited.
Yep.
That's the only point. And then when you have the appointment with them, you dive right into questions first, get them talking, make them feel comfortable. The less you're talking, the better the sales call is going to be going.
Yep, yep.
I hope this is useful.
Those are
Listen,
great
you might have
tips.
way more sales experience than me.
No. Those are great tips. The standing with a smile, walking around on a
Dude,
call.
I want to stand up right now. I'm
Dude,
getting excited.
that is a really good piece of advice. I've never heard of that one.
I never do cold call sitting down.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. And the first couple days, I'm gonna make the phone calls from now on.
Just-
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Just lock yourself in a room for 4 hours and call 100 businesses.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We're doing that right now for AI voice, and it's pretty crazy.
The voice thing is fucking crazy.
The reactions we're getting.
Yeah.
I checked it out. It looks incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, using it for cold calls is quite illegal, but
No, but that's where you use it for inbound. See, there's the upsell.
exactly. Yeah.
You can upsell someone on paid ads, or if you have no idea how to do it, just go to anybody on Google Maps. Like any local business is getting phone calls anyways. And people are expensive. AI is cheaper and it's getting better. Like there are so many times where I have to look back in my CRM and be like, what the hell is this call about? Or like, what did they say? The AI will document that for you. Like it will be a better quality conversation very soon to speak with AI rather than another individual.
Oh yeah.
I think it's there already. I think it's there already.
Yeah, you'd know better than I do.
Like because I've been waiting for so long for it to be that good in order to be able to sell it or like feel good about selling it. Because I don't want to sell something that's shitty.
Yeah,
But
of course.
I always think of the funny quote like, yesterday is the worst AI will ever be.
Mm.
That's interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. All righty. Well, yeah, thanks, Lucas, for joining.
No, thank you. That will help a lot. Yeah. I'm looking forward to joining those these Thursdays calls more. Cool.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. And let me know if you need help with the call script. I love this kind of stuff. So I'm sure together we can get some customers for you.
Oh yeah, I definitely just might. Yep.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Talk to you guys later.
Have the best weekend. Cheers.
Thanks. You too.
Bye everyone.